What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of this Range Rover rebuild series. In the first video we went ahead and tore it apart to see what was wrong with it, and unfortunately this engine got destroyed. I did find cylinder sleeves for these engines. I was thinking maybe I could do that. I don't want to scrap the block. These engines are really expensive, so if that's an option, then maybe I can do that. But yeah, I went ahead and removed the oil pan, and guess what I found? Look at all that. Look at all this, guys. All kinds of pieces of metal in here. Look at this. There's a ring from the piston. Oh man, I got a lot of cleaning to do. There's a seat clip from the piston. This is another part of the piston. So I gotta clean all this because this oil pan's gonna go onto the new engine block. For those that don't know, this is my engine block. This was gonna go on my race car, that black car over there. But unfortunately it's gonna go in the Range Rover. If for some reason I can fix that block, then that block is gonna go on that car. And one thing I wanted to show you guys, these newer blocks, they come with M11 head bolts, which are these right here. These are a lot stronger, a lot thicker than the previous 5.0s. This one has the M10, and this also has the M11, which is a bigger diameter bolt. So it's gonna clamp the head against the block a lot better. I went ahead and removed one of the pistons and the rod bearings. They look great. This engine was in really good condition. It just sucks that this happened. So the next step is to remove the pan from this engine, and I'm gonna clean it. Let me show it to you guys. There it is. This is the new block that's gonna go in the Range Rover. There it is. I'm just gonna clean it, give it a nice little clean. I coated the cylinders with oil so that one doesn't rust. So I just gotta clean it, clean everything, make it look nice, and then pull the pan out and swap the oil pan, and it'll be good to go. And then we can start rebuilding this engine. I went ahead and ordered the gasket for the cooler, because when I pulled this engine I noticed that there was oil all around the cooler, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. And it looks like someone had been here already. You can see there's RTB gasket all over it, so they probably fixed it at one point, but I'm just gonna replace the gasket. You do have to use RTB gasket maker for the oil pan, so that's one thing. This thing is good to go. I just gotta clean it. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled the oil cooler because it looks like it was leaking. It had a whole bunch of RTB gasket maker all around, so I'm gonna replace the gasket on that. Also, I went ahead and cleaned the block a little bit, as you can see. Tried my best all around. So the block is ready to go. Also, I went ahead and cleaned the new oil pan. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna install the oil cooler back on. I got the gasket right here. I went ahead and got the OEM gasket. Let me see. So this is the OEM gasket for the oil cooler. Alright guys, so now we're going to be installing the oil pan from the Range Rover. And in order to do that, you got to change the oil pickup tube. This is the one from the Range Rover. Put it right here. So this is the one from the Range Rover. It sits in the rear of the engine. The Jaguar sits in the front. So we got to swap this one onto the Jaguar engine, and that's all you need to do. You are going to need to tap into here. Let me give you a little close up right here, because as you can see, this one sits kind of like this. You're gonna need something like this. You can get this at any parts store. I don't know which one I'm gonna need yet, but I'm gonna remove this oil pickup tube first, and then I'm gonna see which one I'm gonna need. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so everything looks good. Let's see, maybe an 8mm. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be an M8. This one, M8. So I'm gonna go ahead, and if it's not the right one, then you can step up to the M10. You just gotta make sure you have the right bolt, because that's all I have. I tried this one, the M6, and it's too small. There you go. Alright guys, so it looks like the M6 is gonna be the right one. I actually got them confused. This is the M5. So grab yourself the M6 and start drilling slowly. Alright, there it is. Just gotta be careful with all these metal shavings. Okay, so now we got the oil pickup ready to go on. I'm just gonna use a little bit of assembly lube around the O-ring, so that way it doesn't get damaged. Alright guys, so now I got all the gasket removed from the engine block. So now I did the same with the oil pan. So now I'm gonna add some gasket maker. I'm just gonna go around the oil pan, and then I'm gonna let it dry for a couple minutes. I couldn't really find the torque specs or the torque sequence for these bolts. I'm just gonna torque them to 15 foot-pounds of torque. I'm just gonna go across, and that should be all right. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna install the rear main seal. I'm gonna reuse the old one. I couldn't find them online. They were all coming from China, and I don't know if the quality is any good, so I'm just gonna reuse the OEM one. It wasn't leaking, so it'll be alright. I'm gonna just add some gasket maker all around, so that way it seals perfectly. Alright guys, so now that we got the rear main seal installed, now I'm gonna install the flywheel. Okay, so I'm gonna install this flywheel. This is the one that came off the Range Rover, so I'm just gonna reuse everything. So the flywheel has a little notch here, and then the crank has this little dowel. You just gotta line it up, so that way everything is in time. There it is. So now it's time to install the cylinder heads. We got one of the cylinder heads right there. We just got them back from the machine shop. Here's one of the head gaskets. So this is the head gasket I went with. It's just like OEM. So I'm gonna go ahead and install it now. Here I got the head bolts. It's a 3-layer gasket. I'm just gonna tighten them by hand, and then after that I'm gonna use my torque wrench. Alright guys, so I went ahead and got the heads installed. As you can see, I even forgot to keep recording. I apologize about that, but I went ahead and got the cams installed on this side. And let me show you this little tool. So I'm holding the cams using this tool. It came in the kit. So that way I can time the engine properly. Here it is. I got this timer chain ready to be timed. So now I'm gonna install the guides on this side and then the tensioner. But I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna install the cams and all that, and then have it all ready. Then I can do the tensioners. Alright, so got the timing all done on this side. As you can see, timing chain is nice and snug, but I ran into an issue. So I was looking at those cams right there from the newer 5.0. These come in the 2013 and up. If you've been following the channel, this is a 2011 engine, so it has the Denso ECU. And this one, the one that came out of the Range Rover, which is that one over there, it has the Bosch control unit. So out of nowhere, I decided to look at these cams, and I noticed the pacers are different. You see how they're different. And I already got this side timed, so I don't know if that's gonna be an issue. I definitely don't want to run into issues, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna swap these cam facers onto these cams, because I don't want to be messing with this thing after it's inside the SUV. So I'm gonna have to do that. So good thing I caught it before I did this other side, this side here. So I went ahead and swapped over the cam sprockets. Got the timing all done. All I need to do is just pull the pins on the tensioners, and then pull tension on each side of the sprocket so I can tighten these bolts. And after that, then we can install the front cover back on, the valve covers and all that. So Alright guys, so got the engine complete, but it looks like I messed up again. So if you look at this timing cover, that's the one from the Jaguar engine, and this is the one from the Range Rover. Now you just notice this right now. This one has this little pulley. I don't know what it's for. It looks like an idler pulley, and this one does not have it. So it looks like I'm gonna have to pull the valve cover again, pull the timing cover, swap all these sensors onto that one, and then put it back together. Alright guys, so after a couple of days I finally got the engine all built. It's ready to go in the truck. Got the wire harness and all that, injectors, fuel rails, coil packs. It's all ready to go. Exhaust manifolds, motor mounts, and all that. So it's ready to go in.